It's so annoying that you can see the lights right there, but I already stuck them on and I can't move them, so we just have to deal with it. Okay, so you guys, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back. Be back. Back. We are back. Can I start over? So today, oh my god, I'm a mess. So I did my Hindash video, which loved, and thank you for all of the compliments. My brain is not working apparently today. But then a lot of you guys, which like I totally didn't even think about, but you can use it as a face palette. So a lot of you guys were like, please do that. And I was like, why didn't I do that? So we're gonna do that today. So I know that people can use it as like contour, blush, like under eye brightening powders, all that stuff. So we're gonna give it a shot. I'm nervous a little bit. But we're gonna do it. So I'm actually gonna start off with contour. I mentioned in the video that, my first video with it, that it opens up the doors to being able to like mix certain colors, you know? So this is gonna sound maybe kind of strange, but for my contour, I'm gonna do a combination of this situation, like closer to the gray, and, oh, I touched it, and this color. So I'm kind of gonna mix those, and I might add a little bit of that. Listen, I went to school for painting, okay? Let me live. I think I'm gonna use this little brush. It's like a little bit fluffy and a little bit flat. What? Yeah. Similar to my bronzer brush, but it's actually a little bit more of like a setting brush. So I'm gonna dip into this color. I'm gonna dip into right there. So not the gray, not the brown, right there, a little closer to the gray. Because what I like about this gray is it's warmer, and it's got a little bit of green in it, if you look closely. I don't know if you can really tell. It's got like if I compare it to my top, oh, my mic fell. If I compare it to my top, it's actually like quite close to that mint, you know? I hope I remember this combination for the other cheek. So I'm going to sweep this in my, oh, that might be a little cool toned, under my cheekbone. Is it too cool toned? I can't really tell. On the screen, it looks lovely. Like it looks cut as fuck, you know? Interesting. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at it at different angles. All right, so same deal. Starting off with, it's like so rude when my batteries are done charging. So I'm tapping into tan, and then real-ish, and then paint. This brush is so good for this. Holy shit, how come I've never done this before? I feel like the color looks like really good, you know? Like I needed that like grayish minty color. Cause I'm olive, so I need that green. You guys will have to let me know, like, is that too much? Like, should I just have, what should I have done? Let's do the jawline. So I'm just, once again, tapping back and forth between those shades. And I like to kind of go right under here to begin. Define this area. Make a little bit of a double chin, see what pops. Push that shit back. Let's do the nose, because that's pretty much all I do left. Maybe I'll do my mouth a little bit. And I'm literally going to do the same thing, but I think I'm gonna just tap a little bit into that gray and focus a little bit more on tan and paint. I'm gonna start off, I'll zoom you in. Why are you guys so far away? Why are you always so far away? This is the real test. So focusing it underneath my nose, give it a little lift. That doesn't look too bad so far. We did just start. This is so interesting. Because I just never think to use eyeshadows as like face products. But it makes sense because number one, the pans are like large enough, you know? And also the formulas are so soft and forgiving. Like I said in my last video that they're idiot proof. So if you feel like you have a hard time blending, they're incredibly like forgiving. I actually really like that color. I was like worried that it was going to be too much to do my nose, but it's actually like kind of good. I don't know, I'm not the best at contouring my nose. It kind of always ends up looking terrible. So like, you guys can let me know. Thoughts? Let me know. Wish you were here right now so that you could tell me so that I could stop looking stupid. And then, wait, wet was kind of like dark, wasn't it? I can't remember. I'm gonna I'm gonna do just a little bit of eye brightening just cause we're here. And I'm gonna tap into wet. Wait, stop with the mirror, like stop. Wet, and then lines. The white, just back and forth. I'm gonna take a little bit of that down the side of my nose because this is the area that I like to brighten. Gave us a little something. It's very soft, you know? My oil is starting to break through, so I might as well just like pop it in the areas that I like highlight anyway. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I didn't really put that much down because I'm not really trying to like brighten up too much, you know? But that's nice. I'm actually like kind of impressed by that contour. You guys really have to let me know, especially since powder contour is just something that I haven't really been doing very much recently because cream it's just a little bit more forgiving, but these are so forgiving. What do you think of the nose? Be honest. All right, let's do our eyes, and then I want to do blush with this palette. I'm very interested in this. All right, so I have to go into, since we did like something really dramatic and smoky and like reddish and vampy and like crazy, I really want to use this. I kind of just want to stick with the colors that I used on my face, honestly. I want to use this strip and this strip, probably. I don't really have a direction that I want to go in either. Maybe just something diffused and smoky. Why is this earring upside down? So I'm going to start off with my Wayne Goss number 16 brush, and I'm going to grab tan, this guy. And I'm going to, this is a little bit warm, honestly. I'm just going to use this to create a little bit of a transition shade. So going back and forth in my crease and then just kind of like diffusing up and out. Very nice, like everyday kind of color, you know? It's like ever so slightly warm for my taste. I like something that's like a little bit more, maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, it's ever so slightly warm. I love like a color that just like is basically the same as like whatever contour color I would use. But this is really nice. This is definitely gonna be like an everyday palette. I know a lot of you guys were like kind of turned off by the pricing because it is pretty expensive, especially with shipping to certain places. It's one of those things, like don't feel like just because it looks beautiful here that you have to buy it. It's just, if you have colors similar to this, like there are plenty of eyeshadows out there. This one is just very, very easy to use and very innovative in my opinion. Very soft, you know? You might not necessarily be able to get the same finish, or just, it might not be quite as forgiving if you're using other palettes. But hopefully this kind of like opens up doors for you if you feel like you can't like mix, or if you've never thought about mixing shadows before. It's funny, when I first started doing my makeup, like getting into makeup in general, I used NYX eyeshadows because I had no money and it was cheap. So I would use NYX eyeshadows to contour, NYX eyeshadows to highlight. Like I was using eyeshadows, those single shadows for everything. All right, I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush, pretty much the same thing that I used to contour my nose. And I'm going to I think I'm gonna tap back in between tan and Feel. Amp up the crease a little bit. Remember that looking down into a mirror is going to help if you have, you know, droopy lids or slightly hooded lids or whatever. Because I don't know why I try to make life harder for myself, but I always forget to do that. Back in with that first brush and just diffusing around. No additional product, just kind of like buffing to smoke it. I got a lot of real estate going on up here, so I love a smoke. I love some smoke. Okay, I'm actually gonna use that same brush, the little blender, and I'm going to kind of do like what I did with my contour. So I'm gonna go like in between these two colors, but like not right in the center because I wanna pick up a little bit more of that gray. Obviously using a like tightly or tighter more densely packed brush is gonna like pack on more shadow, but the reason that I'm doing this is because it's gonna like make it a little softer, and then I can use this same brush just to blend up into the crease, you know? So I cover the lid, and then I can kind of just go from my patting to buffing motions. Wow, dude, the older you get, you really, like, once you hit 30, you really start to realize, like, my eyes are gonna be so saggy when I'm old. Like, what is happening over here? What is that? What is that? Yeah, I just want to do like a classic smoky eye, I guess. I'm really loving those colors though. It's very beautiful. And honestly, I'm staring at my nose right now and I'm like, I just feel like that nose contour is like kind of baller. I don't know. This might be crazy, but I'm gonna use the About Face, what's this called? Shadow stick. It's a shadow stick in the shade Pearly, I think. But it's like a neon green and I don't know why, but this is what I want right now. Sick. Obviously this is like kind of a jarring color, but like experimenting with colors in your waterline is just like one of the most fun things, especially if you're doing like a neutral smoky eye, you know? All right, I'm gonna grab a little blender brush. This is from, I think, Morphe or ColourPop or one of those things, I don't know. And I'm gonna use the same colors, but smoke out my lower lash line. So I'm starting off with the tan again. I'm gonna bring it under my eye bag. And I'm kind of going to, I mean, shit, guys, if you watch my channel, you know what's happening up here. Like, I really don't need to explain it. I had to move my monitor again because I got a new, well, this isn't it, but I got a new camera and I'm gonna get a new mic and it's gotta go. Oh no, wait, am I using a boom? Maybe I should move it back. Whatever. And then I'm gonna grab basically that same, like in between, gray, brown, and I'm gonna focus it a little closer to the lash line. I'm just being a little more precise with my application, connecting it up, and then kind of just like barely diffusing it down. Because I don't want that to get like too dark, but I want it to be a little bit more like rounded out, you know? Not in shape, but in value. I'm wearing these contacts all day and they're just like so over life. I have dailies and they're just like, we're done. Damn, what am I gonna do with the blush situation? This is sick, I fucking love it. All right, I just, you know, blend and blend. I kind of want to put a neon yellow eyeshadow in my inner corner. Like that might be a must. Ooh, fuck yeah, that's exactly what I want. Okay, cool. Might use that. So I'm gonna do a little more smoke with some liner on my lash line. And I'm gonna use, I've been just obsessed with all the makeup artists apparently. I'm gonna continue to use, wait, did I use Mario's? You know what, I'm actually gonna use the Jen Atkin Elf collab liners because I really loved them. So I'm gonna go with the brown one first and just line my lashes, like I'm gonna dot it. So I'm gonna leave it a little bit thicker on the outer corner, and then as I get to the inner corner, I'm pulling it tighter to my lashes, or my lash line. And then I'm gonna go in with a little smudger brush. It's like a pencil smudger, I don't know what you call it, and I'm going to blend. And then if there are any areas that, you know, are a little uneven or whatever, I'm just gonna go back in, fill in some gaps. I don't know how that happened. It got all over my lid. Rude. Okay, and then just to amp that up a little bit more on the outer corner, the very outer part, taking it like just barely halfway. I'm just using the black one. So just kind of like building up contrast. And then same thing, just going in, smudging with that brush. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is grab the black color on that brush, on the very tip of it, and I'm just going to, very close to the lash line, kind of pat over those liners to set them. And then I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna kind of mix, no, You know what? No, I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I like it like that. Okay, this is gonna seem really weird, but I know this is supposed to be like a Hindash palette, but I'm using a video, but I'm using like a bunch of different products. So I'm gonna go in with my Bff Cream Gel Liner in white. Well, it's not white, it's Exit, but it's white. By ColourPop, right in the inner corner. This is going to be to amplify the shadow that I'm gonna put on top. So I'm gonna use like a little, this guy, I don't know, and kind of just blend it. These are a little waxy, so it's not the easiest, but just pat so it's not like so chunky looking, you know? It's a little bit better. And then I'm gonna grab, this is a new collection from Bff Cosmetics. What are they called? Say It? I think they're called the Say It palettes. This one says Optimistic AF. It's upside down. This is how they did it. It's kind of cool. I really like the packaging and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna grab, well, let me look through the rest of them. It's a bunch of really cool colors. I'm gonna grab, actually that's a really cool green. Kind of goes with what we're doing. Now I'm gonna grab the yellow. So I'm gonna grab from the Optimistic AF palette, I'm gonna grab Ray of Sunshine, this like yellow. And I'm just gonna go over that white. So placing down that white just kind of helps to amp up the vibrance of this shadow. Okay, I think I need something a little bit more on the lower lash line, so I'm gonna grab, this is like a, I don't know what you call this. Maybe more like a lip brush? I don't know, but I'm gonna grab the black, or whatever color that is. I don't know if it's necessarily black, Fatum, and run that on the outer part of my lower lash line. And I'm gonna kind of do, if you've seen my other videos where I do that lower lash trick, I'm kind of gonna do that, but just a little bit. Okay, so I just went in with some mascara, and that's basically it. I didn't want to use falsies. So just, you know, waterproof mascara. So I want to finish off with blush, using this palette as blush. So I don't really know what to do here, because I think this color right here, Boy, is going to be the best because it's a little bit more peachy toned, and that's typically what looks best on my skin tone. So I'm going to try to go in with this. I'm a little nervous about it just because of, I don't know. Let me see how I can like apply this. So I'm going to use an angled fluffy brush, and I think I'm going to just kind of like do this in that area. I just feel like I'm not getting like a very even pickup of a product, but let's see. So I'm gonna tap it off. Wow, you guys, this is pretty freaking sweet. You just have to be careful about when you like dip your brush in that you're not accidentally hitting like one of the other pans, like that your brush isn't too big, you know? But this is actually very interesting. Because obviously, if you watched my other video where I did an eyeshadow, like my first impressions video about this palette, I was looking at it strictly as an eyeshadow palette. So some of the colors were a little bit jarring to me at first, but the more I use it, I feel like the more everything makes sense, especially for like this kind of thing. Because of the tone of my eyeshadow, like my eyeshadow up here looks a little bit more, well, I don't know how it looks on the monitor or to you guys, but the transition shade looks a little bit more orangey, and this is just a little bit too pinky. So I would kind of like would prefer to go in with a color like this, but I just feel like it would be too dark, you know? I don't know. I don't want to mess it up because we already put down a blush, so. But these eyeshadows are incredibly versatile. Like, as far as this being an all-purpose palette, it's very interesting. Like, I love how he approached this palette. I really love it. All right, so I just went in with a little bit of highlighter and some lipstick. I used like a few different lip liners, so like very confusing. And then I mixed, I dabbed a little bit of this NYX Lingerie XXL in the shade Turn On, this guy. And then I just popped on, oh shit, was it this color? Oh God, no, I don't remember. Yeah, these are the Melt matte lipsticks. Oh my god, mini matte lipsticks. Are they mini? Is this not a normal lipstick? Whatever. This is in the shade Zaddy. But it's just a very pale nude. I just patted it a little bit in the center. And I'm once again experimenting with lip shapes and over aligning because apparently I can't not do it. All right, so this is the finished look. Obviously, it sort of turned into like a full-on makeup look. I wasn't really planning on doing like neon or anything, but it just happened. It had to happen. But I'm very impressed by this palette overall. I obviously use it as a blush, a contour. I guess I didn't use it as a bronzer. I heard some people saying that you can use it on your lips. I don't really know how or why you would do that. But I love it as an eyeshadow palette if you just use it as an eyeshadow palette. And like I said, the thing that I appreciate about it the most is not only the versatility of the formulas, but how he chose the color combinations. And like I said, when I first saw it, I was like, it was kind of jarring just to see these colors together, certain colors together, put next to each other and blended. But it was obviously very specific choices that he made for very specific reasons. And I just think he fucking nailed it. Like, I just feel like every time I look at it and every time I use it, there's more and more like possibilities and options open up to me. So I'm a big fan of this, and I think it's going to be something that I use just all the time. I really love it. I really love it a lot. And that's like one of my favorite, like the color on my lids is just probably one of my favorite smoky eye colors for people of my skin tone, you know? Kind of like matches my eyebrows a little bit and just very flattering. So I'm continuously impressed. And I think he's fantastic. And if you want this palette, if you've been thinking about it, if you are willing to spend the money, if you don't have anything, well, I mean, of course you don't have anything like this because it's very different, but if you don't have any of these shades, you know, then I highly recommend it. I just do. I guess that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please let me know if you have this palette. I know a lot of you guys have already gotten it and you absolutely love it. So I'd love to hear from more of you if you like just got it and you're like experimenting. Hopefully this helps you just kind of like see what the possibilities are. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.